So what do you think, Nance?
Just waiting for the fish to start biting.
Have 2 rods set up for trout and salmon. 2 rods set up for burbot. Some tip ups. It's only a matter of time. So we're in Wyoming, so we can't use live bait, or live minnows anyway. So we've got these small minnows. So I just hook them through the head. And the treble hook in the tail. That's what we catch most of our burbot on. You'll see I have a little glow stick shoved inside. It gives us complete glow all the time. And that's my setup. Nancy's hooked up.
Whoa. Come on. Holy crap. Come up. This is going to be a good sized one.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, this is going to be a little one.
Nice.
Yes. God, it's lit. Dang, that's a nice one.
It's a nice burbot.
Yay.
Woo! Nice job, Nancy.
Thank you.
One of the other cool things we were using right now are these lights by Devos Outdoors. Do you have another one?
Did.
Nancy's tearing it up. So we've got it set to red right now, but you can change it to white, orange, or red. And we just have the one side, so it's kind of facing the tent wall, and that helps us out quite a bit so that it doesn't get too bright in here, because burbot do not like bright lights. These lights are amazing.
Just finally got one on.
Bobber down. It might be this same fish.
Oh. What?
So that is one of the tip ups. So we've got a fish on the tip up that we didn't hear. And it swam all the way over here. This is insane. I just reeled up our tip up line. The closest tip up's 20 feet away. Whoa, what a nice burbot.
Holy cow. Yeah, I think it's on this one.
And now all my lines are going to be tangled up. Every one of my lines is tangled up because of this burbot.
But at least Travis finally caught one.
this is on a different setup. Hopefully it's not wrapped up in tip-up line again. And another nice burbot. Woohoo! Nancy's hooked up on a bobber rig.
Do I need to adjust the tension on this?
Yeah. Tighten that just a tiny bit. Since now you're standing up, it made it harder.
Do you want me to sit?
No, you're okay now. Let's see what we got on this one. Careful when it gets to the edge of the ice. Nice job.
Yay!
Woo.
I was worried there for a minute because we were tied.
Oh, yeah. Heaven forbid we tie. Nice job, Nancy.
Thanks.
I almost missed this one to catch up to Nancy, but she was nice and told me about it. Get the little guy. Now, in a normal world, I would let that fish go. But in Wyoming, you have to kill every burbot you catch on this part of the state. And that sounds like my tip-up's going off. Oh, he's there. Ooh. It's so hard to tell after catching them on rods. Ooh. Did not like the light. Oh,
Oh, dang.
another nice one. Sweet. On the beaver dam tip up. Hiking back out. Almost to the truck. It is 14 below. Hey everybody, this is Travis J. Vernon. This is the second part of our burbot video. We caught a bunch of burbot yesterday out on the ice. Nancy and I suffered through the super cold. When we left, it was 14 below. It stayed really cold all night long. Today, we're supposed to get to a high of about 9 degrees. Even though it looks super sunny outside, it's gonna be brutally cold for the next couple of days. So I'm gonna show you how to clean a burbot. Most people will just leave these on the ice. I don't understand it. When we got out to fish yesterday, there were a couple burbot that were gigantic, way bigger than what you're gonna see me clean right now. It's a lot of meat and it's good meat. So we're gonna show you how to prepare it, cook it, and right now we're gonna clean it. So burbot are kind of slimy, gross fish. This one just barely thawed out. Now because they're slimy and gross, That's one of the reasons why people don't keep them. But the things you're gonna need: some good knives, good fillet knives, pliers. These are skinning pliers. They're made specifically for pulling skin off a fish. And a fillet knife is really all you need. It's pretty straightforward and simple. I'm fortunate that I have a wife that lets me do this stuff in the kitchen. But you just come up here behind the head, right about where the gills are, and make a slit. That little slit right in there is where we're gonna start. Then you're gonna use your pliers and just start to get into that skin. You don't need to cut all the way around, although some people will. The skin is going to naturally tear along the bottom, as you can see, and it'll make a sock. Once you get it to that point, it's just a matter of pulling. Go all the way to the tail, and then you can discard the skin. Now, one of the things that I use is a dog towel. This is a towel that has been deemed inappropriate for view within the home, just in case anybody else saw it. But there's nothing wrong with it, so we use dog towels to dry the dogs off, or to clean your hands from Burbot slime. So once we get it to there, there's different methods at this point. What we're gonna do is come in behind the ribs. So you'll see the vent is here. Pretty much in line with that is where your ribs are. If you just cut down, then you can just follow the spine like you would normally fillet any other fish. And that pulls that fillet off. So there's one fillet. Flip it over, same thing on the other side. Down. Follow the spine. And we pull off another fillet. Now these little pieces of meat, you can eat them, you don't have to. There's more meat up on top here. On some videos, they'll grab that dorsal fin and pull it out. They do that on all the Alaskan videos, which is interesting. But then you want to get out these two big loins. So you're going to come right down the spine, pretty close to where we were. And you just let your knife track down those ribs. And you follow it down until you kind of run into the hook part of that rib. Because it gets to the end of the rib and it has just a little bit of a hook to it. And you don't want to cut that piece of bone off because then it'll end up in your fillet. But there's a loin. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Still just a little bit frozen on the inside, but you just follow those ribs down using that tip of the knife. Try and do this so everybody can see. There's another loin. So a pretty long and skinny burbot, but you get a good amount of meat to them. Now the next thing we're gonna do, and not everybody does this either, but we're gonna pull this belly skin back. And this belly meat's actually the most tender on the fish. Not everybody likes it though. It's a little more labor intensive. Big male burbot. Just trim back. There's another big chunk of fillet. You can peel off that inner lining if you want to, but it's not necessary. So there you have it. That's how you clean a burbot. It's the same whether they're small or big. It's the easiest way to fillet them that I found. There are some guys who will start with the loin and fillet the loin out until they get to the spot at the tail and then fillet it out so it's just one big piece. Either way works. I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong. As long as you're having fun, you're doing it right. All right, everybody, so we've got all the fish prepared. There's a couple different ways I like to bread it. My favorite is actually Andes. The Andes breading, there's a spicy version and there's a non-spicy version. And most people think the spicy version is too hot, so I usually mix it 50-50. Shore Lunch is another one that's really good. There's lots of little tips and tricks. If you want to make your breading just a little bit crispier, a little bit of cornstarch works really good. If you want to make it a darker batter, you can add milk and egg. If you wanted a lighter batter, add egg and water to make your batters. Or you can just do what I'm going to do, and I'll just take a piece of the fish. It has to have a little bit of moisture to hold, but it's a pretty light breading coat. And then I'll just fry that until it's nice and crispy on the outside. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Once the fish is cooked to how you like it, I like to put a cooling rack over top of another cast iron pan. That way, any drips just go back into a different pan. And everything works out happy. You can use burbot in any recipe that you would use a standard whitefish for. Any kind of firm white fish. If you're familiar with the Utah, Idaho area, you can use fry sauce, homemade fry sauce. I don't like fry sauce, so I use malt vinegar because I like tradition.